Hello YouTube, Dave here again. I know I've talked a lot about my love of Dungeons & Dragons, the tabletop role-playing game, but another one of my big hobbies and pastimes are video games. So I thought I would talk about one of my favorite video game franchises now that the third installment's out. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the items that I have for Dragon Age. Of course, there is the Dragon Age Origins, one of my favorite games of all time. This is the Ultimate Edition, which has all the DLC, and it's absolutely fantastic. I also have Dragon Age 2, along with the strategy guide. Now, this one was a little bit disappointing. I loved it at first when I first started playing it, but the more it went on, the more it started kind of wear on me. So, this isn't the strongest title in the series, obviously, but if you're a fan of the series, they had a really good deal, I think, on Xbox Live a little while ago for $5, so it was definitely worth it. And if you can find this for a decent price, you can definitely pick it up because you'll get at least, $20 worth of fun and excitement out of it. It wasn't worth the $60 that I paid, but I'd pay, a discount price for it now. And of course, Dragon Age Inquisition just came out, so I'm going to get to my first impressions on this. I have it for the 360. But before I do that, I may as well go over some of the other items that I have in my collection. So I've got some of the DVDs here. There's the live-action one with Felicia Day, Dragon Age Redemption, which was originally a web series that they made onto to DVD. Then there's Dragon Age Dawn of the Seeker, featuring Cassandra, who plays a role in Dragon Age 2, as well as one of the party members that you can have in Dragon Age Inquisition. Just watched this the other day. Pretty cool. If you get a chance, check it out. I also have over here some comics, or graphic novels. This one's just simply entitled Dragon Age, and it's a bit misleading because you don't really see these characters, I don't think, at any point. It revolves around a couple of children, one of which has the abilities of a mage, but it's still a worthwhile story if you get a chance to check it out. And then I have the Silent Grove, which features characters from the game itself, Isabella, Varric, and Alistair. This one's really cool. I do have the next series of comics that came after it, but they're packed away and I just don't have the time to dig them out. And then I have the Dragon Age role-playing game, so set 1, which is absolutely fantastic. Love it. Over here I have set 2, all the things that come with it. The Blood and Ferelden Adventures is just a series of adventures for levels 1 through 5. And then we have over here the Game Master's Kit, which came with this lovely 3-panel GM screen. So those are the items that I have for the role-playing game. I know that set 3 hopefully will be coming out here soon. Now that the third game is out, that's when they usually do it. Set 2 came out shortly after the release of Dragon Age 2, for example. In addition to the games themselves, I have a couple of strategy guides, so one for Dragon Age 2, which I picked up on release day. They had got these at EB Games, which is what we call them in Canada. I think they're GameStop. They have a lot of things where if you buy something on release day, if you buy the game, you can get the manual for like 30% off. So it's not a bad deal. That's how I've gotten a lot of my strategy guides. Now, I also have the one here for Dragon Age Inquisition. Nice hardcover one. Really nice book. I haven't really used it too much for the strategy guide aspect of it yet, but I'm sure at some point I might need a little help here or there. And with the strategy guide for the Dragon Age Inquisition, it also came with a map of Ferelden and Orlais, as well as just this. This was on the back of the thing here, but it actually comes with a download code. I've already used this, so you don't bother trying to copy it and use it again, but it gives you a few different items. So it gives you a ring that gives you +2 to cunning, a multiplayer chest, which I haven't actually used yet, and it gives you an extra mount, actually, which is pretty cool. So those are the items that I have in my collection, so I may as well talk a little bit about Dragon Age Inquisition itself. I really enjoy it so far. I like the combat system. It's kind of a blend of what they had in Origins, as well as what they had in Dragon Age 2. So it kind of balances the two out quite nicely. A little difficult getting used to at first that the attack was one of the triggers instead of the A button. The A button is now actually a jump button, which is a first for the series, so they never had the ability to jump before. They also have mounts, which are new as well. I like the mounts; it makes traveling around a lot easier. The areas that I've been to so far, and I'm pretty early into the game, but they're quite expansive. So even though it looks like you probably still use a lot of the fast travel map system that was in Dragon Age Origins, as well as Dragon Age 2, when you go to areas in Inquisition, they are quite large. The first place that I went to do quests in was massive, and I definitely needed the mount to get around, or it was going to take a lot longer. This is a brand new game, so obviously there's some bugs. I'm not sure if this is the same for everybody. Like I said, my version is a 360 version. It's one of the first games I've gotten in a while that didn't actually have a day one update. So I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing or a bad thing, because there are some bugs that I've noticed. Hopefully they'll be able to patch them up and fix them up relatively soon. And hopefully they'll do it for the older consoles and not just focus on the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. Most of the bugs have been pretty minor and not ones that really ruined anything for me. A lot of it was just texture pop-ins or dropping out during cutscenes and things like that. I have had a little bit of trouble initiating dialogue, where I hit the A button to initiate and nothing happens, so I just kind of mash it until it finally works. Which has been fine. The only thing that I really had that was a negative experience for a bug was there was one where I was stuck in a combat where nobody could take damage. Just, the enemies weren't being damaged and my characters weren't being damaged, so I just had to eventually just run away. Now, disengaging from combat is a lot easier than in previous games where you simply just really couldn't do it. As far as the combat goes, I like it a lot better than Dragon Age 2, which had a lot of enemies just kind of pop in. So when you kill a wave, the second one will just kind of appear around you. In this one, they do seem to at least come from somewhere, so it's a little more strategic that way. There is more of a strategy element to it. If you press, for the 360, if you press the select button, it brings up this tactical thing where you can kind of highlight party members and give them orders and stuff like that. I haven't really used this yet, and I haven't fully wrapped my head around this yet, but when I do, I think it's going to be really useful and provide a lot more strategy into the combat, which they said, was part of Dragon Age Origins, but I never really used it. And you couldn't really do anything strategic in Dragon Age 2 because the enemies would literally just pop in whenever you defeated some. So overall, first impressions of Dragon Age Inquisition, the story is really cool. You get to go back to making your characters again, so you can choose your race, your class, your gender. You can choose all that, similar to Origins, and unlike Dragon Age 2, where you were simply a human. That being said, choosing the races and stuff is great, but unlike Dragon Age Origins, you don't have separate beginning chapters that you go through. There may be things that change down the road as you play through the game. I've noticed a few dialogue options that have been different between two different initial playthroughs. The first character I made was a female elven rogue, and I went back and made another character who is a human male fighter or warrior. And I noticed that there were some differences in the dialogue, so your choice of race may factor in later in the game, but it's not something that gives you a unique opening like it did in Origins. But as a whole, I think this is going to be a great game. Looks like it's going to be a massive game. There are some strategy elements. There's a part where you can have this war table, where you can have non-player characters kind of take the role of doing things, and they can actually complete missions or make diplomatic contacts and stuff like that. So you can assign them to do that while you do some of the more dangerous tasks. But it's really cool so far. Really enjoying it. I do hope that they fix some of the bugs. Nothing particularly game-breaking, except for that one where I couldn't do any damage. So hopefully they'll fix that before too long. But if you get a chance, if you're a fan of the Dragon Age series and the Dragon Age world, then you definitely should pick this up. I give it a full recommendation, and once I get more gameplay in, I'd be more than happy to do a full review. I'd also like to go back and review Dragon Age Origins and Dragon Age 2, because I have a bit more to say about them than what I got to in this video. But so far, really liking this game, and of course, huge fan of Dragon Age. I hope the set 3 of the role-playing game comes out soon, which will give you your characters from levels 11 through 20. Let you fight things like, the Archdemon that we have here. So I'm hoping that all that's coming down the pipe real soon. If you get a chance, check this out. I think it's a great game. Give it a thumbs up for now, and I'll give you a full review once I get further into it.